makes most women start a business? Is it passion, money, or freedom? Welcome to Female Founders, the podcast that takes you behind the scene with women who are founders and CEOs to help you start and scale a successful business of your own. I am your host, Nagelia de Ravin. Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of Female Founders. In this episode, we are going to have a conversation with Emily Hartstone. She is the owner and CEO of From the Hart Management LLC, a multi-level association and business management company out of Delray Beach, Florida. Good morning, Emily. You are an events and sales manager and the founder of the Hart Management, that is into event management and consultant. I am excited to learn more about you and your company and also the foundation that you have and everything else you have been through in this world. So can you tell us what led you to event management and consultant?
Sure. It's actually a funny story. I grew up riding and training horses, and that was my life and really all that I knew. I remember riding before walking, and then I was sadly diagnosed with leukemia, and I had to find something else to do. The doctors didn't want me riding horses anymore. So a friend of mine reached out. She knew somebody that needed an assistant to plan a convention. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a try. So I went to an FDIC convention. It's a firefighters convention. And as a single girl, that wasn't a horrible thing to go to. All the firefighters walking around. I was like, I can do this. So I did. I went and it was pretty awesome. I loved doing it. So I went and I took that job. And I started out with a 3,000 person convention in Las Vegas. And in the events world, they say if you can plan in Las Vegas, you can plan anywhere. So that was definitely true. I got fed to the wolves. Sadly, my boss at the time was let go, and I really was fed to the wolves. So I learned everything very fast, but I loved it. And I just stayed in the events world since then. So I started with that company. I stayed there for about 4 years and then went on to Orange Theory Fitness Corporate, was planning for them, and then went on to where I am now. So I just loved events. I'm a people person, obviously. I'm bubbly. I talk fast. It worked out for me, and I just stayed in the industry.
Wow, amazing. So from being an event manager to owning your own event company, can you tell us about the Hart Management?
Sure. So I started this company after I worked with someone that was really like a second mother to me for a very long time. She retired, and then the client stayed with me. This management company is obviously very close to my heart, hence the name, my last name, Hartstone. But everything we do, we really try to touch people's lives and make a change in the world. So it's not just about planning events, but really executing the whole thing and making a difference in people's lives. So we work with nonprofit organizations mostly. We'll do corporate events and music festivals and fun stuff like that, but we really like the nonprofit side of things. So trade associations, stuff like American Heart Association, things like that. And I myself have a foundation for rare disease, so that's really my background. But my business partner also comes from a family of trying to make changes. So everything we do, we say it has to be making a difference for something. We don't just want to, we love birthday parties. Who doesn't? They're always fun, but we don't just want to plan a party. It has to be doing something for a change.
So what are the services that the company offers?
So we can do anything from graphic design to marketing, obviously event planning, accounting, we'll do logo design, really anything you name it. We also have a promotional products side. So if you need lanyards, anything that comes with the convention, really anything you name it on consulting for a business. If you're a startup, we'll help you from concept all the way through execution.
Wow. But also that you have a foundation. Can you tell us about the foundation?
Sure. So when I was diagnosed way back before leukemia, I always say I get it from my mama. She loves it so much. It comes from my mom's side. She had thyroid disease. So that was the first thing that happened to me. I looked in the mirror and had a bulge in my neck. And I had my thyroid taken out. And I realized that the medical industry, you always think authority, you can look up to them and they're just right. As we know now, sadly, the whole thing that's happening with police movement, you think, oh, the police officers, they're right. It's the same thing with the medical industry. And they weren't. And I was fed a lot of false information, and I believed them. I was taking bad medication that almost killed me. And I just ended up in the hospital too many times when I shouldn't be. I had surgeries I shouldn't have had. So I thought, something's got to be done. So I just started basically putting myself through medical school, really advocating for myself. And I just thought, how many other people really are going through this? So I started the foundation to help others learn how to advocate for themselves. And really, I saw so many children. And it was the same thing, that the mothers, same deal. They want to listen to the doctors. This is the authority. They know what they're doing. They're the ones that went to medical school. We're going to listen to them. And one of the really big things with thyroid disease is it gives you really bad anxiety. So 99% of people diagnosed with thyroid disease first are diagnosed with a mental disorder. And they're put on Xanax or all these things for mental disorders. And if you don't need Xanax and you take it, it gives you a mental disorder, obviously. It messes with your brain chemistry. So here are these 7-year-old kids that I'm looking at when I'm at the doctor's office being put on medications like Xanax and Adderall. And I mean, it was just horrible to watch. And the parents are okay, and giving it to them because they don't know any better. And it was really just horrifying. And so I just had to do something. I couldn't sit back and watch it. So we started Empower the Patients. It's called the name of my foundation. And it's really been awesome. We've helped so many people. And I just started it on Instagram, honestly. I searched the hashtag for thyroid first. I was just trying to educate myself. And then I started my own Instagram page and started reaching out to people. They helped me first. And then there's this whole rare disease community on there you would never realize. And that's how it really started. Overnight, it went viral. I was shocked. I just started telling my story. And now we have this whole community. It's awesome. It's really cool. We post all these funny videos, and it's just amazing how it grew.
Wow, that's amazing. But it's sad to see that doctors are putting our children to that much high risk. And then they are wondering why we have so many kids growing up to be adults already crazy in this world. It's because we're creating that ourselves.
It's really sad. And a lot with thyroid is about nutrition. And I learned that in medical school, a lot of my friends now have gone through medical school, and they spend a half hour the whole time on nutrition. I mean, it's just mind-blowing, So for me, what I ate made a difference. I mean, it sounds crazy, but it made a difference whether I could stand up in the morning or not, because, I mean, most people don't know. I didn't even know what my thyroid was, and they told me I had thyroid disease. I was like, where is that in my body? I had no idea. But it controls everything from your hair to your heart rate. I thought I was having a heart attack. That was one of my first symptoms. I was running through Atlanta airport to a conference, and my heart was pounding out of my chest. I mean, it really runs your life, everything. So, and 85% of women have a thyroid disease and don't even know it. So,
don't even know it. So, can you tell us more about it? Is that something that can kill you, or is that something you can manage throughout your entire life?
Yeah, you can definitely manage it. It can kill you, but it usually doesn't if you catch it. There are 2 types. There's overactive, which is what I had, and the more common type, which is underactive, which makes you feel very sluggish. The only way really it can kill you is if the overactive gets out of control, because it can affect your heart. So your heart, you can go into what's called thyroid storm, which is what happened to me, and your heart just goes so crazy, your vitals go so crazy that basically like your heart would burst. It's very rare. And it is controllable. You just take medication to suppress it. With me, they couldn't control it, so they had to take my thyroid out. And now I just have to take a replacement hormone because you can't live without your thyroid. So I'll take a tiny little pill for the rest of my life. It was scary because I'm like, what happens if for some reason there's a shortage of this pill? But they said you can get it from animals, and hopefully that will never happen because that kind of freaks me out as well. But, it wouldn't ever be an issue. But so many people just don't know the signs to look for. If you look back, you can see it here, not on me anymore, but and you swallow. If you have it looks like a butterfly. They call it the butterfly disease. And if you can see here, and there's a lump there, go to the doctor. But they always say just check your neck. But if you have stress, I always say it felt like someone was ripping my soul out. I just was not myself. That's uncontrollable. Everybody has stress, of course, but that you just cannot control. Your hair is falling out. You have heart palpitations, weight gain, weight loss that is unexplainable. Tremors. My hands were always like shaking like this, and I didn't know why. It just, every single part of your body, it controls everything. If there's just weird things happening in your life, even don't want to talk about this, but even like weird periods, just go to the doctor, please. And it is Thyroid Awareness Month, so appropriate time to talk about it.
Absolutely. I love your attitude.
I did get a stuffed animal thyroid, so I named him Timmy. So on my Instagram, we have Adventures with Emily and Timmy, and then all of our followers went and bought the stuffed animal. So that's another fun thing that we get to do. But he comes to all the conferences, and we put him on the podium and everything. But so it's something very close to my heart. I watch TV all the time, and I'm like, oh my God, that actress has a thyroid problem, because I can see it from a mile away now. And I'll go on her Twitter and start, I'm like, I don't want to be offensive because you're beautiful, but I can see it in your neck. I can't not say something though now because.
So if I do this, would you be able to tell me?
Yeah, you're good. I've already left.
Oh, you already left. Thank God.
First thing. It's sad. I've taught my friends how to check, and they'll text me sometimes like, oh my God, so I was at like the movies with this person, and like I had to say something to her, and I'm like, good for you. So funny.
I was gonna wait I'm like, okay, let me wait after this interview so I can go in the mirror so I can look at mine to see if I have it.
I would have told you. Oh my goodness.
Oh, you're making my day. You make me laugh. Thank you so much for that. But I know also you have leukemia. Can you tell us more about that experience? What all the thing you've been going through with that as well?
Yeah, so that's kind of been a whirlwind as well. I don't even know how long I've had it for, honestly. After I woke up from the thyroid surgery, I felt much better for about 3 days. I woke up like my old self again, and then a lot of the symptoms came back. The thing about autoimmune disease is there's a lot of crossover symptoms. So unfortunately, it's very hard. You can spend 10 years sometimes trying to diagnose an autoimmune disease because they all do have the crossover symptoms. And leukemia, while it's not autoimmune, it does kind of fall into that same category with the crossover symptoms. And I don't know what it is about Florida doctors. I don't want to talk bad about them, but it's just different down here. I think sometimes there's just such an elderly population down here that when they see a young person, it's harder for them to put you in that category with cancer, unfortunately. So it just took years to diagnose. I finally threw my hands up and I was like, I'm going to Mayo Clinic. I flew to Mayo. There are some in Florida, but I flew to the Mecca out in Rochester, and within a half hour, I was diagnosed. So I went through 3 years here, from doctor to doctor, trying to figure out what was wrong with me, and they, like that, told me what was wrong. So I started treatment, and it's been crazy. I had the bone marrow in my face, basically from here up is metal in my face. I haven't had whole food since October, so I'm very hungry. I've been eating smoothies and a lot of ice cream. My puppy is a very happy girl because she's had a lot of ice cream in the past year. But they told me, I told my doctors on a daily basis, I would wake up October 28th, 2021, being able to eat again, and here we are. So it's just been surgery after surgery, putting metal in my face because my bone marrow is just crumbling. So it's been hard, but I just keep saying mind over matter, tomorrow's a new day. I definitely have times where I go through a couple hours of wanting to give up, but it's a couple hours and then I pull myself out of it. So it's
No.
I'm very hungry. I'm very hungry.
And I know you're hungry. Yes, it is.
Menus, and I'm like, oh my God, this food looks amazing. And having to smell it and still have a social life, to go with friends. And I'm not going to, not have a social life and stay home. So I do go sit with them at my dinner table and I'm like drooling over the food, but I'm getting used to it, so it's all right.
Look at it, Emily, let's look at it as a temporary so you can get better. Giving up is not an option. Just saying,
no, it's not an option.
We as women, we don't give up.
Yes,
we keep
we do
moving forward because we are the one who's keeping this this world standing strong. Without us, what men going to do? They're going to blow up the entire world. So we need more women like you. So you can't give up. And if you decided you want to give up, just give me a call so I can help you not give up, because I don't want you to give up. We're going to fight this because you're not alone. You might feel alone sometimes, but you are not alone. There's a lot of other people going through the same thing. And they can actually use some of your wisdom to keep them going as well. So what you are doing is to make yourself feel better, but also to help the other people that need your support later on. Because you're going to tell them what you went through, how you went through it, and how you survived it. And you need to be here to tell that story. So giving up is not an option. Don't give up, please.
Yes, no, not an option, for sure.
The food looks good, but let's look at it this way. It's just going to make you fat anyway.
That's right. Everybody says.
Just going to make extra pounds. The belly's going to get a little bigger.
I always have my summer body ready.
Exactly. At least you have your summer body. Me, I have to go to the gym to get the summer body together.
Exactly.
Oh my God. So from working for Fortune companies to being your own boss, how did you go to the transition, personally and professionally?
Yeah, it's a good question. It was kind of sounds funny. It wasn't so rough of a transition for me, because I kind of had a slow transition. The last company that I was at, my boss was older, so she kind of phased out, and I slowly took over that company. So even though there I was kind of just the event planner, I really ran the company. So it sort of just fell into my lap that way. I didn't ask for it, but I got more and more work piled on me, as happens to a lot of people. And I just sort of ended up running the whole thing. So it kind of prepped me and trained me. And I learned, it was kind of, the crash course as she phased out. So I guess I was, I wasn't happy that happened to me then, but it blessed me in a way to get me ready to take over my company. So, and it helps me. I brought a lot of the staff from there with me. We're very close. It was kind of their family to me. They've been through a lot with me, with my health. So, I consider them more of my brothers and sisters than I do, my staff. It's very strange to call them my employees. I don't think that word has ever come out of my mouth until just now. I don't look at them like that. So they really are family to me. So, but I don't know. It's weird for me to think of myself as a boss. I don't treat anybody like that. They're all really equals to me. I don't know. I don't like the term. I don't know.
I love it.
We all work just as hard. I get my hands dirty with them. I think you really kind of have to do that to be respected, especially in this industry. With events, something can go wrong at any moment, and you really have to be willing to get in there and save the day at any time. So you can't just kind of be sitting on top and delegate everything ever. Yes.
So in another word, you are leading them.
Yeah.
And you are there with them every step of the way.
Absolutely. You have to be.
I love that much better.
Yeah. You have to.
Do you offer your services just in Florida?
No. So we have clients all over in the U.S., but then we'll do events anywhere in the world. Obviously, COVID took a hit with that, but we will do events all over the place. So hopefully COVID will slow down. I know it's spiking up again. I know a lot of people that have it right now, but hopefully soon it'll go away so we can start going overseas again. I love to travel. We love events overseas, and we just want to see it start. Our industry took a massive hit, so all of hospitality.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For sure. So you also run Gifts from the Heart.
Yes.
Can you tell us more about that?
Sure. So Gifts from the Heart is a boutique gifting company. Also, when I was sick, of course, the surgeries were killing me. My insurance was not so nice about covering them. So I needed to start another business. So we started that one. I know also that I'm not the only one struggling with that. So we give 5% of the proceeds back to a different charity each month. But we have anything from handmade tumblers to graphic tees. It's a really fun company. I'm very excited because spooky season is coming up. I'm a Scorpio, so of course I'm, very Halloween. Love this time of year. But we go around each weekend really to different vendor events. So we have like Oktoberfest coming up, again, all the Halloween stuff, but we're also very excited to be opening a store in the mall next month. So we're getting ready for all of that, but I am really, really excited. So we're always asking if there's a different charity that you guys, anybody listening right now, would like to have a donation to. Please email us at hello@giftsfromtheheart.com, because we always would like to send a donation. And I definitely try to look in. There are nonprofits, I know a lot of people don't know this, but different nonprofits give a higher portion of donations to what they say they're actually going to give to, and others give to their staff. So I definitely do the research to make sure that those donations are going to the cause, not to the staff. As somebody that has a nonprofit and staff, I appreciate that, getting paid, but I want to make sure it's going to the cause. It's very important to me. So we'll definitely vet it, and it doesn't need to be a medical, association or foundation. It certainly could be anything, to kids, to animals. We just want to do good for the world, where it's really everything that I am is to make a difference and change the world. As cliche as that may sound.
Oh my goodness, you're like an angel.
Thank you. Thank you.
But what you are doing is awesome. And I understand your point. It's like, yes, the staff need to be paid, but at the same time, too, you don't want to give all the money just to the staff. You also want to support the cause that you say you're going to support.
Yeah, it's important to me. When I was first diagnosed, of course, I went through the 48 hours of a massive pity party, as anybody probably would. But I really had to, find why did this happen to me? And that's where this all came from, is I decided that, God put me here to help people. And if I didn't go through all of this myself, I wouldn't be able to help people. Just as a restaurant owner or somebody that wants to run a restaurant, they have to be the dishwasher and they have to work at the front desk to really successfully know how to run the business. And while I'm not happy that I have to go through all of this, I wouldn't be able to help somebody maybe that has cancer if I didn't really experience it myself. Because my best friends will always say to me, like, oh my God, and they try to help me, but they know that they can't tell me the same way that I, go through it, which is fine.
Yes.
And, when they have a cold, they're always like, oh my God, I feel so stupid saying this to you. And in the same way, I'm like, no, don't feel bad. You're allowed to feel bad because you have the flu. Like, it's not, I would never compare myself to you. Don't feel like that. But that really is how all of this started, is just, I firmly believe this is why this happened to me. Is like, this is the reason that I'm here.
That's your mission.
It's my mission. Mm-hmm.
Yes. And you will be around for a long time with us so that you can go.
Yes.
Lead that mission.
Thank you. I hope so.
No. That's what we believe in. That's what we're going to keep. Yes, you know so.
We always joke around. I'm like, God is going to give me every disease in the world, but never let me die.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You are on a mission because God will never give you something you are not capable of handle.
That's correct.
He's doing it for a reason. So
yes, ma'am.
We're going to go through that mission and then we're going to just make it happen.
Absolutely.
Let's look at the queen. Huh? Let's look at the queen. Right. May she sleep in peace, but hey, that woman go with a good fight.
Yes, she did. Yes,
she did. So you can do it as well. That's what I believe.
Thank you.
So you received a lot of awards and recognition for the great work you have been doing. So what other than that, all these awards and everything else you have been receiving, what else that every day makes you want to wake up and say, I want to do this?
Oh God, I mean, really, it's everything I just said. It's just changing people's lives. It's gratifying. All of the emails that we receive, the little notes that we got on Instagram and our messages, there's nothing better than that. When somebody says, you've changed my life, or thank you so much, or this is the reason that, I can wake up and, I felt so bad this morning, but just seeing, the video that you posted, or there's nothing better than that. It just really keeps us going. Even on the days that I'm having a rough day, to see a message like that is just, they think I'm inspiring, but that's inspiring to me. There's truly nothing better than that. That's everything to me, better than the money, anything. That's everything, really.
That's all that, yes. Something worth fighting for,
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. So you have a lot in your hand, and you are a sick person that's also have a lot to deal with every single day. So what's next? Not just for you, but also for the company. Well, for all of them.
Yeah, it's a good question. I think right now we're just focusing on getting the store open. We have a lot of big events coming up. October is going to be a huge month for us, so we're just going to try and get through that. I also, unfortunately, have a couple of major surgeries coming up, so just trying to get through the end of this year, and then we're going to do a couple of grand opening parties at the store. We're just very excited about that. Yes. So we'll start setting out some communications about that. But really, it's just so much every day. Something else really falls into our lap where we're like, oh my God. We've just been really lucky, honestly, this year. Everybody says, it's all the hard work paying off and it's you. But I don't know. I don't see it like that. I just think I've been very lucky. I don't know. I know I work very, very hard, but, we've just been very lucky. We're very blessed. And all the stuff that's been given to us, these awards, every time I see something come across my screen like that, it's just mind-blowing to me. I don't know. I don't feel like I deserve this stuff. It's just crazy. Everything, every day is just a blessing.
Emily, you are someone that is sick. You have a lot of surgeries done. And every day you show up for your teams. You support your teams. You support other people when you didn't have to. You stand for them when you don't even have to. So it's not just luck.
Thank you.
It's not just luck. It's a lot more than that. You care for others. Even when others don't care for you, I feel like you are that type of person. If someone passed by you, they look at you like, please. You will probably look at them like, hey, how are you? Because that's who you are, You are that type of person. So this is not just luck. You work hard. You support others. You give. You always go out of your way for other people. Of course, hard work will repay, and God will always bless you for all you do. So it's not just luck, it's also your hard work. So I see it that way as well.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So what advice do you have for people that's going through the same thing you are going through right now?
Yeah, definitely, keep fighting. Obviously, never give up. But I know a lot of people look at me and they're like, oh my God, how does she do it? How does she keep going? First of all, I'm ADHD, so that helps. I have, not everybody's going to have the energy that I have. If you need to take a day off, take a day off. But just, mind over matter. Keep telling yourself that it is mind over matter. Nothing is going to get you through more than that. And I always tell the story about my Nana. We were very close, and she was diagnosed with cancer as well. Doctors gave her a time limit. She way went past that, and that was why she just fought. She didn't believe him, and I'm the same way. I talk about the leukemia, but I almost talk about it like it's a lie, like I don't have it. And the doctors right now want me in chemo. I'm not doing it. I did one treatment. I threw up forever afterwards, and I can't work like that, so I stopped doing it. I drink smoothies, a lot of them, power foods. It's just all in believing, but just, yourself better. People also, the other fight that I have to deal with is people look at me and they're like, oh, she's not sick. That's a big fight and a big problem that I have to deal with a lot of the time. And that's another thing with Empower the Patients. It's a hashtag, it's called, but you don't look sick, an invisible illness. I deal with that a lot. And, oh, she's making it up, and, this or that, one ear and out the other. I know what I'm dealing with, and once I wipe the makeup off, and you can see the bags under my eyes and everything else, but there are days when I physically cannot walk, and there are days when I can go running. But you know yourself best, and you know your body best. So, one day at a time, and just listen to yourself. Don't let anybody else tell you otherwise.
Yes.
Just keep
Exactly.
going.
People will always have something to say no matter
Always.
what, always. It doesn't matter really.
And I think nobody wants to see somebody else to do better than them. It's sad, this world. And I think COVID also made people go extra crazy, unfortunately.
I think some people just like that anyway. Just let them be, because sometimes they are dealing with something even worse than you are. So they just don't know how to deal with their own problems, and they can't see yours either because they don't know how to deal with their own. So let them be, just let them be and be you, because being you is the best you can be. That's how I see it.
I always say, don't judge a book by its cover.
No doubt. So what will be your advice? You've been in business for so long. You successfully take over a company. You start your own foundation. You have another store where you selling all these wonderful gifts. By the way, I love the lollipops. Literally, if I buy this, I will never stop eating it. I was looking like,
we'll send you a care package.
So what would be your advice for other women out there that's trying to make it out?
Yeah, it's definitely hard when you're starting out. There's so many different things that you have to do from the licenses. It's just so much. But, focus, make your list. Obviously, I had a mentor. My dad is a serial entrepreneur. I had a great mentor. I was very lucky. But find a mentor. This platform, of course. there's so many great platforms. Don't try and do it by yourself. It's not good. It's not going to happen. There's a lot of people, I know I have a lot of friends that try to do it by themselves, but there's just so many things from the taxes, sales taxes. It's just too many things you're going to get caught up. That's definitely my biggest piece of advice. You can reach out to us anytime. We're happy to help, for free. I'm happy to help mentor somebody. But just keep going. People are going to try and knock you down. Like I said, if people haven't been successful, they don't want to see other people be successful. People take shots at me every single day. Take them. I don't care. And you hear it in, Lizzo songs, all the songs, and all these rappers even. Like anybody you listen to, you're going to hear it. Nobody wants to see you at the top, and it's the truth. And it's sad. But just find somebody, hang out with your friends, let them, boost you up, and just keep going. Don't let somebody stop you, ever.
Just keep moving forward. Well said, Emily, and thank you so much for taking the time to have this conversation with me. I appreciate what you are doing, and I appreciate everything that you went through and still standing and still helping other people.
Thank you.
Please, every day that you wake up, said you have a purpose in this world, and people like me and many others are looking up to you. So you have to be there to keep them going. So giving up is not an option.
Never. Thank you.
Never.
Thank you so much.
What a great conversation with Emily. Battling leukemia, but still finding the time to support many causes and also helping businesses reach success. You are a great inspiration, Emily, and kudos to you for all your great work. Thank you, Emily, for taking the time to have this conversation with me. Let me know your thoughts about this episode with Emily. And to learn more about Emily and From the Hart Management LLC, visit www.fromtheheartllc.com. Thank you for listening to Female Founders Podcast. That's it for this week's episode. Be sure to follow us on your favorite podcast app or connect with us on womel.com so that you don't miss our next episode. See you next time. Bye for now.